Hello, my name is Satya. I'm author of the book Source, and welcome to this Source Guidance video. So, today is a very, very interesting topic that I'm going to talk about because many people in this world, especially after post COVID, are suffering from a lot of issues. Maybe it is a health, physical, mental, emotional. So, people think it's just a health issue. People think it is just financial issues. People think just this is a relationship issue. But uh, whether you're a coach, consultant, you're a doctor, or you're helping other people, it's very, very important that you identify exactly where is the problem originating from. So this is going to be a little bit lengthy video, but I really want you to, if you're very relaxed, then watch this video. And if you like this video, if you have any comments, so you can like, share. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. So that will be wonderful. So, and you should share this with other people, or if you have people who are suffering from some issues all around you, you can do a little bit good karma by sharing this video, or are able to know where exactly the problem is arising. Okay, so I'm going to quickly share my presentation with Simple Mind. Just want to share it. Give me a little time. Okay, and I'm going to share it. Okay, let's begin. Okay. So first of all, I would like to tell you that there are two kinds of people. Okay, two kinds of people. One, people uh, who really wanted to come out of a problem. They are facing a problem. They're facing a kind of an issue or challenge, or they have a kind of a struggle in some areas of their life, and they really want to come out of it. And they're looking for a solution. And there are another type of people who just enjoy their problem. Yeah, this is there. There are people who love to share with other people. Oh, I'm suffering from this problem. I have this issue. They really want to talk. So, so you should, number one, first identify yourself who you are. It's very simple. Anybody can have, because I will talk about later on that whenever you're doing something, whenever you are behaving in a particular way, it is because of certain kinds of habits or practices which you're doing. Maybe you've seen other people doing it in your life or your family, and that is why you're like that. But you should always, to begin with, if you're watching this video, always should ask whether you really want to come out of the situation. And if you don't want to come, you can brag them. There are some people who keep on talking about something which has happened, something very past. They will come and share, oh, this thing has happened with me. Or they will meet someone and said, you have done this thing 35 years back, 45 years back. I still remember. It's good to remember. It's definitely good to remember. But you should not carry on the baggage, because this life is amazing. Life is multi-dimensional. I'm going to talk about it. Okay, so how to identify the problem, where exactly the problem is surfacing. So you should know this. It is not just, the problem is just in the body. It is not just the problem in the mind or the soul level. There are many layers. And these layers, which I'm going to talk about, you can see all the layers which is coming on the screen. These layers are also sometimes interdependent. Okay, I will talk as we do the flow. I'll share some more information. So what is the first kind of problem is the awareness. Are you aware of the problems that you are having a problem? Sometimes people are not at all aware of their problem. There are families in which the father is not aware of the problem of the child. Okay, the wife is not aware of the problem of the husband. Husband is not at all aware of the problem. Sometimes you're not aware there is a problem which is going on in your company. Sometimes you're not even aware that you have a problem which is going on inside your body. Body is a wonderful thing. It gives you a lot of signals that your body is suffering. You have an issue, you have a problem. Your finances in the bank, your tells a lot of things about what is happening in your life. Are you on the right track? Okay, your happiness index tells a lot about your spiritual journey. So these are all interdependent. And that's why the first thing is to find out, is to be aware of your problem. That are you aware? Are you conscious of your problem? That whether there is an issue, there's a challenge which is happening. So if you're not issued, I will also talk about the anticipatory problems. There are some problems which you have not anticipated before, like the COVID, for example. That's also there. But every problem which comes with two things. Either it is going to take you higher, in a higher growth, or it will put you down. So you should be open. But your first step is the awareness problem. People, when the problem comes, then they suddenly realize, oh, there's a problem which is happening. Otherwise, many people are there. It happens with all of them. But awareness should be a key. That the problem is originally you're not aware. You did not knew what the problem was. You were not ready to accept your problem. So that is one step. Let's come to the other dimensions. This was just an awareness time. The second important area which you should always be aware is your physical body. See, if you're alive, then then there is the happen. Then there is the fun. So if you're not living, if your body is not working, there is then nothing of is any use. Then your mind is of not no use. Then your family is of no use. Then your finances are of no use. Your body should be, I believe, it is my take. Whether you are in any uh, in the major areas or major ages of your life, you're in youth or the middle age, or even you're going towards an old age, your body should be fit. And you should be aware of the body. So most important thing, because a lot of the problems in this world, a lot of your career, your job, your relationships, your finances in the bank depends on your body. So it is very important to identify whether the problem is in the body part or not. So body means what? You made up of organs. Whether there's a problem in an organ or not. There are many organs in the body. We know the heart, lungs, stomach. So you should be aware whether there is an organ, the problem in the organs of the body, organ system, respiratory system, expiratory systems, or they're getting affected. You should be very, very aware of those issues, whether your stools are coming properly, whether you're getting proper perspiration, whether your breathing and your pulse with everything is normal. You should get regular checks done generally in order to find that. There are problems which is just related to metabolism. You're eating food and suddenly you're feeling sleepy, or there are endocrine issues which you may suffer from, but you should be able to identify that. The food, which is very important. Food creates a lot of problem, whether you're taking alkaline or acidic, whether you're taking proper right kind of water or not. And that is the area of concern. Sometimes some problem happens. For example, many people are allergic to some food and suddenly some issue happens. You should be very aware that whether you've eaten something which is your body is not able to accept it at that moment, or you're eating too much alkaline and your body is having fever or something. So these are all related factors. You should be very, very aware of what you're eating. There are many fast foods which one can avoid. And if you're eating a lot of fast foods and suddenly you feel that a lot of coughs are coming out of your body, and all these things you should be aware of. And the food is a very, very important area. Maybe I will sometimes have a complete video on food itself. I've written in my book Source about how you should chew food, how you should what is the kind of water you should take, what is the method of taking the food, how not to mix alkaline and acidic. So all these things that are there. And that is one of the key areas where people face a lot of problem, because they don't know what they are taking inside a body. You just don't take things from your mouth. You take things from your eye, ear, everywhere. So you should be careful. Your body is not like a dustbin. Okay, you should be very, very careful, and you should eat when you're hungry. It happens that we do not follow timing and all, and suddenly there are. And always remember, your body gives you the result. Your body always gives you signal that okay, this is not the right food for you. You are eating junk food for quite some time, and suddenly one day you're going to fall sick, and you don't know why the sickness is happening. Recall. That's the time you recall what you have done, and stop doing that thing immediately. If you're taking suppose pizza, burger for quite some time, it is possible that it's going inside your system, and it is actually blocking your system. So sometimes just change of food is what you require. Okay. And that's very, very important. The food is a very important area that you should be very, very aware of. Age is a factor. Age, with every age, there are abilities which are, and sometimes with age, you are not supposed to do certain things. You should be aware of your age and how to maintain your flexibility. Suppose you're aging, so what things you should do, so that what exercises do, what pranayam you should do, so that you able to compensate the age factor. So age is a very, very important factor, and you should be aware of the same. You should not do something which is not required in a particular age. If you're supposed in an old age and you're doing something, you're playing football, suddenly you find that your knees are getting into problems. So you should be very aware that, and and focus more on the flexibility part. Focus more on the fitness part. There are people I have found, because as a part of Benson Hospital and seen my family also, the people who have become aged and they suddenly realize that they need to take rest. They are more bedridden. No, that's okay. If you keep your circulation high, if you keep your energy level high, then I think the problems can be countered. Okay. Sleep disorder. Sleep is a very important thing. You should have a good sleep, because in sleep you're actually not resting, because when you're sleeping, Vishwa Urja from your body comes and it heals you. So there's a automatic process of healing in the body, because from the morning to evening you're doing a lot of work. you're eating, drinking, you're working. So a lot of toxic things get deposited in the body. So what happens is that when you're sleeping, the Vishpurja, the universal life forces enter in your body. It cleans the different files and systematically it systemizes the whole system. So sleeping is a very important thing. Suppose you are not sleeping in a particular time, or you're not sleeping the sufficient hours which you're supposed to sleep. What happens? This toxicity starts to getting deposited in the body. So when the toxic substance get deposited in the body, it interferes with your system. So you will find that you're feeling lethargic throughout the day. So that is why it is very important to have a very good sound sleep. You should not watch some movies while sleeping. You should not take the blue radiations from the mobile, so it interferes with your sleeping pattern. You should be very try to be as comfortable as possible, but that is the area you should be aware of. Suppose you have a problem that means you're feeling lethargic, check all those things. What is your age? What food are you eating? Are you sleeping properly? So this is just an awareness. If you are a consultant, if you are a healer, you should know what exactly. If a patient coming and he said, see, I always feel a kind of a lethargic with me. I always feel a kind of thing. Just ask him, what time you go to bed? What is the last food? At what time you take your dinner or your supper? Or what time you wake up in the morning? And are you feeling refreshed? So what is a kind of a bed pattern? So these are all interrelated. Even a position, sleeping in a wrong position, wrong direction also interferes. So that's a different subject altogether. When we talk about Vastu, maybe I will create a video of Vastus on the areas where you will where you get energy. What is the best position of sleeping? What's the best position of finances? That's a different thing. But yes, sleeping. You should bring your body to rest. Too much work can actually rupture your system. So it's a cyclic process. You're working too much, you take some rest, you take some break, so that the body mind gets rejuvenated. So rejuvenation doesn't mean that your body mind gets sleep, stops working. They use the energies of the Brahmand, the universal life force, to heal yourself. And that's the principle you should understand about it. Okay, very important. And toxic removals. You should be always aware of all the areas from where the toxic substance come out, like the urine, the stool, the perspirations, okay, and the coughs, because it is very important that your body is able to throw out them properly. And you should be also very aware of something which is called as a breathing pattern. Breathing, very important. How much are you aware of your breathing? Because breathing should be done basically from your stomach. Is your stomach moving correctly? That's the yogic breathing. Or it is very high, because everybody has a limited number of breathing. So that's a kind of your breathing should be very clear. Your nostrils should be clear, so that you're taking your lungs should able to take the oxygen and throw out the carbon dioxide. So these are the areas that you need to be aware, watchful. Okay. Problems can be because of these areas. Why I'm sharing? This is a body problem. You should be aware of the body problem. Body problem are related to mind problem. Body problem is also related to relationship problem. Body problem is also related to financial problem. When we talk about 5 elements, sometimes I will share in that video how you're just simply the problem in your liver can lead to your financial issues. So numerology is also subject in which you can just see that one of the element missing can lead to one of the organ failure and can affect your finances. The problem in your kidneys can affect your brain and subconscious mind. And subconscious is everything. Okay. So you as a healer, you as a person, you as an intelligent human being should always be able to analyze from where is your problem coming up. Now, the purpose of my video is just not to say, oh, this is my problem. No. The problem may be somewhere else. You need to identify that. And once you identify that, you can directly give you. If you're a healer, if you're a Reiki healer, if you're a Tao Hands healer, if you're a pranic healer, if you're a psychic healer, you can just administer the problem. If you're an astrologer, somebody comes to you and if you tells you, I am having this issue, I'm having sleep disorder. See the 12th house in the horoscope chart. See what is the 12th Lord setting here? Can you give a remedy to that? Can you do some kind of meditation or something which will help him that? So that is what I'm telling you. A person comes with a pain in the leg. Numerology, open the numerological chart. See the number 8 and 6 in the chart. What is the position? Is there excess energy or is there a shortage of energy? Okay, these are all related subjects. So why I'm sharing this with you? Because it's very, very important that you, as a master of the subject, or you as a person yourself, or as a head of the family, or as a caretaker of your organization, you should know where exactly the problem is originating. Keep watching. Thank you so much. Then comes the another most important thing is the mind, the software of the system. So your computer is the hardware, and to run that hardware, you need a software inside it. So mind is that software. Mind is the magic. Whatever today you are, wherever you are, it is because of your mind. Mind in this life and mind in even the past life. And how much your mind is open to take the universal consciousness inside it. So mind is a very important factor you should not miss. Lot of problems in this world, lot of things in this world are only because of the mind. This is called as psychosomatic issues. The body, mind are actually related to one another. So if there is an issue in the mind, it will affect the body. If there is an issue in the body, it will affect the mind. So as a coach, consultant, healer, astrologer, you should not miss this two point. In astrology, moon determines what exactly is your mind. What are the planets influencing the moon? Moon is also emotions. Moon is also healing. So the mind is very, very important. So you should know all these things, because we should know these things, so that, because I believe that the source is the source of everything. Source is the source of love, forgiveness, compassion, light, healing. Source has created everything in this world, and source has given all rules, laws, regulations, and source has given you this wonderful gifts as mind, body. And because source wants you to have a wonderful spiritual journey, source wants you to fulfill your blueprint. So if you know exactly, if you know where exactly the problems are, you will able to utilize this laws, rules, regulation, and the tools of the source properly. So I feel astrology, numerology, pranic healing, Reiki, everything are the tools. If you know, suppose you're giving a problem for finances, but if you know that this financial problem is coming from the liver, you can directly heal the liver. You can send Tao Hands healing, you can do divine healing and healing, you can give pranic healing, Reiki healing directly on the liver part. And once the liver rejuvenates, you will find that the person is somewhere also becoming better in his finances. His financial intelligence is coming in the picture, right? So what are the areas of the mind you should look? Logical. Sometimes we people do not use the logics in simple logics. They are not using it, and there's a problem. The logic comes from basically from your left brain. So there's a left brain function. So left brain people are not using. So more you use your brain, the more better the brain will function. Sometimes people are not using enough their creative brain, the emotional brain. Somewhere they need to put their emotions, but they're not putting emotions, but they're putting logical. And somewhere they have to put a logical brain. They're becoming very emotional in that area. So that is why the brain balancing is very, very important. Sometimes the problem is just in the corpus callosum, the midbrain, the brain which separates the left and right brain. Through numerology and the other subjects, people can check out that what is the issue. Sometimes there's so much energy in the midbrain that brain balancing is not happening. Then you need to understand where exactly how to balance and give your opinion accordingly. So that is there are the issues. Even physically, there may be sometimes a problem in corpus callosums that sometimes doesn't lead to proper balancing. So then a lot of exercises are given to that person, like how to, suppose a person is using his right hand more, then he's tell to use his left hand more in that subject, so that it is balancing brain. Sometimes there are a lot of tapping exercise. I teach my students of the source guidance program a brain code, that is how to increase the intelligence. So we have also experimented with a lot of students with lower IQ, and we have found experiments have found that their IQ are increasing. So, but first you need to identify where exactly the problem is originating. Then there may be mind can have also vision problem. Are you clear about what vision you are having? Are you working for your vision? Can you see something? Can you think something far beyond what you're thinking? Are your goal very, very clear? Suppose you want to watch this video, you feel like you have created a goal. If you are clear, you will be able to see this whole video completely. If you're not clear about this, you're not able to. You want to go somewhere, you're in Delhi. If you're clear that if you wanted to go to Mumbai, then only you will to go there. No? Otherwise, you will be in a state of confusion. Okay. So every time your small goal, there can be a daily goal. I want this thing to be accomplished today. And there can be a monthly goal, there can be a half yearly goal, there can be yearly goal, there can be long-term goals. And you should have goals. Are you having goals? Are you creating regular goals for yourself? Are you taking some time out to create goals? People are having a lot of problem because they're not clearing in their mind, they're not clear about their goal and their vision. What is their vision for life? What is their vision? What is their vision for their character? What is their vision for their self? What is their vision for their family? What is the vision they see for the society? And it is just not for the people, it is for the country as a whole. It is for the leadership, the people who are in a higher leadership position. It is for them. Okay, so this goal is also up, is an area where one should check your willpower. How much will you have? See, there was one person, legendary person, Bruce Lee, extremely good in his martial art. He used to run 10 kilometers, and he was never defeated by any other person. Even if he was getting defeated, he would practice so much that you'd able to win it. What was the power inside? The power of will. So the power of will sometimes majorly comes from your mind. It also has a linkage to your body and the soul power. But is the mind. The tough mind people can even climb Mount Everest. Okay. So the will, so see, if you want to do something and you're not able to do it only because there's no willpower. Numerology directly can tell from the yogas of the numerology, can tell whether the person is having will or not. Even it's not having a will, then the suggestions can be given on that part, so that the person can use the source tool to activate his will. But will is an area you should always see whether you are able to finish a task, because you do not have any will to do it. You do not wish to do that particular thing. The will is a very, very important thing. Then comes focus. How much focus and concentration you are having? Is there any distraction which is happening in your mind when you're doing something? So that determines how accurately you will able to do that work, how accurately you will able to take care of the same. So that's called the focus. Now, see, I was doing this and suddenly the phone was ringing, and I will just make the phone silent. Just give me 2 minutes so that I do not look who was focused. Now, this is what is called as focus. You just put it in vibration. Thank you. You see this? You know what? This is called as omen. This is called as prashna. You're doing something and suddenly something happens. So this life, our life, is full of things which can distract us. Okay, a lot of things are there. So when you're doing something, how focused is your mind? And that will reflect in all the results which is taking place. If you're a student, you will see your results are all basis of the focus. What you focus in your class, of how much focus are you in your studies, with how much speed you are able to do it. If you're in a job, how much focus are you in any subject? Focus is a very, accidents happen in this world is only because it is said, you're not in a focus, dhyan hati, durghatna ghati. Now that's a statement in Hindi. Dhyan hati, durghatna ghati. Aapka dhyan nahi, you're not focused where you're driving, you're calling, you're having a phone, and suddenly, bam. So life is like that also. The focus is very important. It is a part of the mind. So you should be always, you should see, if you're a parent, you should always see where exactly the focus of your kids are. Very, very important part. Confidence. Confidence comes from the belief system. We will talk about that later on, but it is also part of the mind. If you're doing something, if you already say, I'm going to fail, you will fail. But if you're confident that you will do something, you will be able to do. A lot of support systems comes because everything is connected. I said everything is connected. Your mind is connected with the body. Your body is not healthy, you're not feeling confident on something. You're not able to. But if your mind is fit, your your body is fit, you're confident, you also get support from higher powers at the same time. So that's the higher power also see your confidence, higher power see your willpower, and they shower you with energies. That's a different spiritual sign. Maybe we will talk later on. But it is very important to understand your confidence in anything. Introversion, many times a problem because you're not able to, your mind is not connected with what you are supposed to speak. A lot of problems happen. You should speak something somewhere, but you're not able to speak because you're keeping yourself quiet. That is also a huge major problem. I've seen many people, I've seen many areas that the problem took place in their life because they couldn't speak, which they're supposed to speak. Because something was actually stopping them, an unknown power, unknown force. And you need to work on this because everything is a kind of habit, and habit becomes a character. Remember that. I will talk more later on. This is going to be a long video, but I really wanted to do this video because it is going to help a lot of people, I believe, because finding out where exactly the problem is. There is a case in which the person had a huge problem in his family. He was losing relationships. There was divorce he was having, supposed to happen, because there was a person who was stealing in his company. Can you imagine? This guy was losing health. So everything is related to one another, and you should be very, very careful where exactly the problem is, so that we can put our focus there and heal that area. Healing means to put our soul, heart, mind, and body and ask the source to heal that area. Use the source tools to heal that area, and then the change will take place one step at a time. Human beings are multi-dimensional. Understand? Human beings are just not body. Human beings are just not mind. Human beings are just not soul. It is complete together. You are inside this body to fulfill certain tasks, to fulfill certain spiritual journey. You should not miss each and every point, and you should be a person who should be able to balance all this. The whole thing is balanced, and it is a big responsibility. It's your responsibility, because finally whatever is happening because of you. So this is part of the mind. Psychology is studying of the behavior. It's all the behavior based on the mind, and studying the behavior of the mind. Psychology is a very important factor. Your ego comes from psychology. It's very important. Many a problem in the world comes from your ego. How much inflated? What is an ego? It's also your image consciousness. What you wanted to portray to the world. You can be entirely two different personality. So, but this is area you should be aware of. What is your ego creating problem in your life, in your relationship, or it is doing something good? Doing comparison is a psychological factor. Okay, it's a behavioral issue. When you're comparing yourself with something, every human being is different in this world. Every human being has some infinite potential. Every human being is blessed with some source blueprint embedded inside the soul. If they work, if there's a method, if there's a guru, if there's a tool, if there's a source blessing in which you can activate that blueprint, you're going to be a brilliant person. Okay, you may achieve something in your field so much that either in form of money, or in form of virtue, or in form of praise or awards, you will you will get the reward. No need to compare, but work on yourself. Yeah, there is two kind of comparison. One is called as positive comparison. One is called as destructive comparison. Constructive comparison and destructive comparison. Now, constructive comparison is when you're comparing with something so that you can make yourself better. Okay, it is not a kind of a thing which destroys you from the inside, develops other factors. But that is obviously there. But unnecessarily comparing you to something which is not worth even your time, space, and energy, one should avoid. But one should be aware if the problem is happening from here. You are struggling inside. Your whole mind is shaking because you do not know that you unnecessarily are in an introversion way. You're unnecessarily comparing yourself with some other person because you're creating a kind of image consciousness. Oh, मैं तो ऐसा नहीं हूँ जी, वो तो ऐसा, ये तो बहुत बढ़िया है, वो तो बहुत अच्छा देखने में. Even you are not good looking. If you are having a way, you have something inside it. What is my source guidance program? In my source guidance program, I teach people how to find out your blueprint. Even the student, it's a 30-day program. It's a 21-day program, but it stretches to 30-day. In 6-day time, people start finding out, what exactly they are coming. I think it is one of the courses in the thing. So it comes under the source guidance program, but although it is available in a separate way, you can just focus on it. It is based on certain principles. It is just not ikigai. Ikigai is a very small thing, but it is based on certain things. It is like amalgamations and aligning with understanding what the flows are coming. It's just a very comprehensive thing. And if you follow that, we teach people how to find their blueprint. What is the purpose they're born from? Even just utilizing a small numerological chart can tell you where exactly you have to go in this world. What is your purpose? And there's a lot of things in that case. So what I'm saying, compare. You should not compare with any other person. And that is the thing. Now, next thing is the emotional body problem. Now, what is emotion? Human beings are blessed with emotion. Even animals have emotion, but human beings have much refined emotion. Emotion is energy in motion. The power which comes from your heart to do something, to put your heart and mind into it. Emotion is a very important thing. Emotion can take you very high. Emotion can take you down. So one has to be very, very careful about emotion. And also love is attached with our emotional body. Love, compassion. So there are a lot of love issues. There are people who are not loving themselves, then they talk about that they have problems with the love. If you do not have something, how will you give it to others? So Is there a kind of a self-love inside? Is the person loving himself? Is the person loving everything which is there in the world? So love is the powerful emotion. Love, some Master Shah says that love melts all blockages and transforms lives. It's a huge, powerful tool. So if you utilize it, you're aware of those areas of your life, that are you full of love? Are you full of compassion? So then there's a different thing. If there is something which is happening in that area, you may be suffering. There may be some issues. There may be something which may surface, and you should be aware of the anger. I was talking about liver. Anger is an emotional area which affects your liver a lot, and if your liver is get affected, the meridians which are connected with the liver, like so that gets affected, and your finances can get thing. So the anger, you have to be very, very careful how to balance your anger. So if you have an anger issue, there are two kinds of anger. Sometimes it's an expressive anger, you just express, you just blah 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 blah. So what is happening? Anger is also bad karma. You're doing bad karma, so you're getting negative virtues, and negative virtues will come back to life. Whatever you do, come back to life with compound interest. So anger is at that part, you should be very, very careful, and you should do everything to balance this anger. Okay, but some anger is absolutely essentially, it should be used as a tool in life, but it should not be a kind of way of life. It should not be a trait. Okay, you should know where to switch gears. You should know where to change your personality, right? So then fear. Fear is another area. You should able to identify where the fear is coming from. Fear can be simply by eating. Sometimes people are eating non-vegetarian food, and they feel some kind of a fear psychosis inside. But what is happening? They are eating a animal. Okay, animal which is killed. Okay, when the animal is about to be killed, all the fear things, chemicals starts coming in their life, all the endocrine systems, whatever they wanted to, they want, there's a flight mechanism which is working. So you killing that animal. This is don't take me in a wrong way, but I'm telling you the science behind it. Okay? I'm not against what you're eating, but I'm telling you what happens. So once you're eating that, so when you're eating that, sometimes those consciousness comes inside you, whatever you're feeling certain kind of fear. So you should know if you're having a kind of fear inside it, where the fear is coming from. Is it a psychological fear? Is it a physical fear? Or is it a soul level fear? Or you have done something that is why you're fearful. Focus on that, heal that area. Or you have a kidney issue. If you have a kidney problem, when we talk about 5 element problem later on in another video, but I'm at the moment making you aware of the areas, especially for all those people who are healers and consultants and coaches. They should know about it. Jealousy. Jealousy is again the comparison factors which you should avoid. It has destroyed many things. It has destroyed life. So these all can affect your life. Hating anything, complaining tendency. When you start complaining too much, oh, the government is problem. It is a problem. You should be aware of the problem, but what you can do to change yourself. This is a problem. That person is a problem. These are all coming from somewhere the combination of mind and in the emotional area, and not enough in the gratitude mode. You're not open enough for all the love, all the things every day. So once you're not grateful to something, you are in a different vibration. See, everything is a vibration in nature. It's the frequencies which you're emitting. So if you're emitting the right frequency, you're doing the right thing. So if you're in love, if you're in gratitude, you are thankful mode, is a thank mode, that you're very thankful for everything. You're thankful for your body, thankful for your mind, thankful for the soul, thankful for all the things which is given me to. If you're here, if you're existing in this world, if you're still alive, that means there are thousands of forces, whether there is a numerological vibrations or the planets, stars, galaxies, universe, nakshatras, everything is pouring energies on you. Your guru's energies, your parents' energies, your educational energy, your food energy, everything is blessing you. So if you're not grateful for the things, then you are in a different vibrational frequency. So many a time the problem just is a grateful problem. It is a gratitude problem. A person is every time making less money, less money, less money in his business. One day he just was passing through a temple and he decided at the night he didn't have anything. There was less traffic in his area of business, and he couldn't make that money. And he was in a very down, depressed state of energy level. So vibration, energy level, vibration is a very, and the key fact, everything is releasing vibration. So the mind, body, emotion, we're talking actually finally about the energy which you're releasing in this universe. So one day he decided, he was stepping back and he saw a mandir and said, Lord, I'm very grateful for whatever money has come today. Suddenly his energy changes and he was releasing a different form of energy inside into the world. Next day he started understanding and he started So he was actually protecting his soul, mind, body from further damage. And you know what happened? So when he suddenly opened up because of this gratitude, gratefulness, and next day this frequency actually started attracting many people in the world. So if you're having certain kinds of issue, we see from where this problem is coming. Is it a gratitude problem, or is it some kind of a problem? So one is sure, because of gratitude, more you're in gratitude for the divine higher power source, for all people who are doing something good for you, wonderful thing can take place in your world, in your life. Then is a kind of a consciousness problem. A consciousness, that there are different kind of conscious. How much conscious, whether you're conscious of things or not, it's kind of awareness. But there is another problem which is called the subconscious. Conscious, subconscious, we talk about superconscious. So this is actually part of the brain, actually part of the things. But I've taken it out because subconscious here is the most powerful thing. Whatever you are, whatever is happening in your life is because you are connected with the whole world in a different way. This is the whole energies and vibrations are actually talking, interchanging with one another. So whatever is happening in your life is also because of what is the subconscious thought process, subconscious programming you're doing in the world. And the subconscious is like a agricultural field. Whatever seed you sow, it will at the same time. If you're putting poisonous seed, poisonous tree will come out. Okay. There is a very wonderful video by The Strangest Secret of the World by Ernest. You should all watch this video. It's a beautiful video. It talks about everything about the mind and the subconscious power. If you can feed the right kind of thing in your mind, right thing come out. So there he talks about if you're putting the poisonous seed, a poisonous tree will come out. If you're putting a right good seed and good thing, good flowering, good plantation will take place. So it's subconscious, like what you're feeding in your mind, what is the pattern you're creating. So subconscious, everything is interrelated to one. Your life is completely dependent on what is the subconscious programming in you do. You're putting continuously, you're using the power of will. You're becoming completely a willful person. Every time you're doing something, you're putting excitement in yourself. Oh, you're getting excited. You're putting dullness in. Oh, my life is full of tragedy. Oh, what has happened today? I don't know what is happening. And just your subconscious and the divine is doing tathastu, and your life is becoming like that. This is actually subconscious is a really important area where you should work. The third house of your horoscope chart, Mercury is the planet. You should be very careful. What is there is strength in Mercury in your chart. So I think everything is a magic. I think the source has given a lot of magic. Source has given a lot of tools in the form of numerology, astrology. You don't need to be a master of this subject. You should know where exactly the basics are coming. So we feel so good when we teach our source guidance program people. They come to know about these simple things, simple tools that can change, can do a lot of miracles. Have people having Mercury Mars combination? Just start smiling. Just see comedy movies, and your things will start changing. Because sometimes people are too much into a dullness, and suddenly they have another issue in their life. And similarly, connecting, understanding, become conscious of the superconscious brain. Superconscious is the higher brain, the Krishna brain, the source brain, the higher power brains. How much you have to connect with them. Because once you are aware, once you take one step towards those brain and thousands, then they start thinking. So this superconscious is also connected with the spiritual brain. We will talk about spirituality a little later. So this conscious part, consciousness is also thing. Most important is consciousness. When you are conscious of something, and if you're able to conscious, you can do consciously something good, you can do consciously something bad. You can program consciously something, and you can program something very unconsciously. So whether you're conscious or subconscious, you're conscious or unconscious, helps in the formation of your subconscious. So that there is what you're feeding in your brain through the conscious part. So you should know why you're behaving like this. Why is your life suddenly like this? Why you're not able to achieve certain things in your life? It's because that you've programmed yourself to a failure. You've programmed yourself to not become self. And a lot of events takes place in the world only because of these things. Aura, your aura is very important. Very important. What environment you're going, environment we'll talk about it, but aura is your outer invisible body. It is a protection shield, or the aura is connected to your many times the blockages is just both were connected from inside to outside to inside. How much cleaning you are doing. So in Reiki, students are taught how to clean their aura, Reiki and pranic cleaning. So in Reiki also, whenever I heal patients or any other person, the first thing I want to see is I want to clean their aura. I want to clean their aura in a particular. So how clean your aura? There are many techniques you could do, aura cleaning technique. But first you should be aware of what environment are you in. Environment and aura interacts with one another. If you have a pain, you just remove that pain. There was one case, one case in when I was working in India, in Parliament in India, in media. There was one person who was suffering from, I think, 6 months spinal blockage. I told him, give him an exercise just to calm his aura and put it in a salt water. And after that, he wrote me a mail and a message that his pain has disappeared. So that's the power of your aura. Sometimes you should know that just by doing certain kind of aura cleansing, you're able to do. So you should protect your aura as much as possible. There is some technique. Simple technique is locking your hand in a palm position, or just like that. If you're in some dangerous situation, you're going suppose you're going in a in a crematorium or in a graveyard or some area, or you know that you're passing through a place which has negative energies inside us. So you can just lock your aura and go there. Sometimes there are people who just attract bad energies. So and they when they come, so I tell people, one of my my studies show, I always want people. So sometimes people have multiple partners, and they go hop from they have a family, they have a wife or friend. It's very important to understand. I'm sharing it upfront, and they have a wife and kid, and but they are again having multiple relationships. When you're having multiple relationships, those persons also have multiple relationships. So what happens? Your aura and your astral body start joining with one another, and suddenly you will find your life is becoming disturbed. You're supposed to get something good, and it's not happening. The family, your your closest family is suffering. A lot of problems, a lot of disturbances are happening. Very important. Your aura is you need to protect your aura. These things looks very simple. That's why I've created this video, because I'm meeting many people. I have many clients. Okay. And why I'm saying, I want you to understand this video very, very carefully. I want you to watch this video as many times as possible and make your own notes. Okay. You write down what I'm trying, and you also create your own notes, and that will be very important, especially to the people who are healers, because this is I think one of the things I have actually bifurcated each and everything. I've tried to make it as clear as possible. Your aura field, I was talking about, your aura field is aura energy field is very, very important. You should protect it. Try to increase. There are a lot of Tai Chi techniques which can increase your aura. There are a lot of healing energy techniques, like people who are healers. That even there are, you can use dowsing rod. I can check those who are into meditation, mantras, who are connecting themselves with the source, who are connecting themselves with the Tao, heaven, everything. So their aura fields are much more stronger, so that the negative attacks cannot take place that much. So that is why. So you need to do various techniques. There are various techniques of Kung Wong. There are various techniques in which you can build your lower dantian and all. So I teach my students. So all these things you can find out. You can find out, and whatever suits you best, you can always go for this. But which is very important, to shield your aura as much as possible. Use Reiki, pranic healing, second division Chokure energies. You can all use those energies to keep your aura, your golden light ball, simple golden light. You're going somewhere, use a golden light ball shield. Rotate golden light ball all across you, especially. This is a warning for healers who are just going and healing people. Don't just go and jump on the healing, because you do not know how much darkness, how much blackness is there in that person. Because the darkness may be because of that person can jump on you, attack on you. So you should always require a golden light ball or a divine light ball or a source ball, whatever comes to you, to rotate all around you, so that if you're healing someone, you're helping someone, you are able to protect yourself. Many doctors who are brain doctors suffer from brain problems themselves. Heart patients suffer from heart issues themselves. A heart doctor suffers from heart issues themselves. Why? Because they fail to protect themselves. They fail to protect their aura. They take that energy with them. They take their emotional energy. So from aura, emotional, psychic, all energies can insert in your system and can disturb your chakra system. Very important. You have got 7 soul houses in the body. From you have got this is another subject, but I'm just giving a overview in this case. Well, there are main 7 soul houses, is called as 7 chakras, from the root chakra to Swadhisthana. And then there is a Agya chakra. There is a heart chakra. There is a throat chakra. This is Agya chakra. This is a 7 soul houses. And also there is something called as a Earth Star Chakra, which is actually below your feet. So you can study about the 7 chakras in any of the one of the scriptures, and go in the internet and study. so what's happening in this case is that these chakras are very, very important. So you should, and these chakras are actually connecting. This is an energy level chakra. This is connecting your psychic body, aura body. This is connecting your spiritual body. This is connecting your physical body. All the chakras is 7 chakras, and so you should know there are techniques how to heal the chakra. You can use simply some healing hands or Reiki or pranic energy to activate these 7 soul houses so that this remains in great balance. Or there can be, suppose you have a problem in thyroid, you should know that it is coming from your Vishuddha, the throat chakra, the energy, the problem is here. If you have an emotional issue, the issues can be from here. This is just to develop a kind of awareness for the chakra. And the most important chakra is the Earth Star Chakra. Because why it is important? Because all our money and everything comes from the earth chakra. It's below the foot, and you should always have these. You should be a same person inside and outside. Sometimes people are two different persons from inside and outside. So so from outside they will see a friend. Oh, how are you? Very good, nice to meet you. From inside they say, why the hell this guy has come? So we do that, and you know what, that affects your earth star chakra, and that affects your money and finances. So you should be one inside and outside. So your earth star chakra becomes much more powerful. So it sends you much more higher healing energy. Even a lot of spiritual food comes from the lower chakras and higher chakras. So the chakra system is very important. You should learn some method, maybe just aura scanning, aura cleaning, so that you're aware that your chakras, you should keep your chakras as much powerful, and they should rotate in a thing. So when you're into meditation, you may sometimes be able to see and analyze. There are some people who are very sensitive to even somebody else's chakra. So once you, Julian, the purification is the most important thing. The more purified, the more sensitive you are. If you are into these subjects of Reiki, pranic healing, Tao, and even astrology, great astrologers are very purified. Even great martial artists are very sensitive to things. So if you are practicing things in deep, you may be more sensitive. But slowly and slowly, the first thing is to become aware of things. That maybe some of you are even not aware of your chakra systems. So if you're aware of your chakra system, you should able to at least start practicing, learning more, read more books. There are different, like Tibetans use just 3 different kinds of chakras. Why they use 3? There are other things, other system of sciences they're using, but they are telling you something. They're just telling you about an energy body. So that is inside you. If you know, that is like going inside your body to understand it. So chakra systems are that system that you should start becoming aware of from now on. But if you really want to understand a problem and go into the solution of the problem, I talk about thyroid. Suppose you are a healer, you know that the person has a thyroid issue, so you can heal the Vishuddha chakra, as well as you can heal the thyroid and parathyroid, as well as you can focus on the T3, T4, or TSH, whatever you call. So you have a 3 method of healing. So you're more getting into more holistic on that part. You're getting more focused, and your results will be much more faster. Okay, there are some people who just heal that person, or they're a Reiki master, they're just healing that person. Okay, they're just from a distance, they're healing person. But somebody knows exactly where the problem is. A person who's a better healer knows what step he's healing that person. Suppose he has a thyroid issue, he's healing that his thyroid, he's healing the Vishuddha chakra, and he's healing also the Agya chakra. So if he Agya is the command center, or he's also simultaneously healing exactly. If that is why I said you should always. I'm very. I will just share my personal view. I'm very fond of, you say, or I am very. I say always yes to my students. I said to my students that you should always get your pathological checks done. You should be every 6 months. You should do your blood count. If you should do it, because at least we from the physical body we will able to understand what is happening in our physical body. Also, I tell my students and my clients to get their astrological report done, or numerological report ready with them, so that they can know about themselves. They can know about their ashtakvargas. They can know about their planetary position. They can know the strength and weaknesses of their planets. They can know about their dasha system. There are 44 different kinds of dasha. It is just not a Vimshatri dasha. There are like Jamini dasha. There are like Yogini dashas. So you should know the Rashi dashas are there. So you should be able to know what vibrations are you getting from the energy. Then the most important thing about the transits. What is the transit which is happening? I tell them, keep the things are ready. So you should not do the mistake. In numerology, you can able to predict the times. What times are good? What is the time of your available planets? What's the time of your missing planet? What is the time of your activated planet? So all these things, if you know, I think it is going to help you a little bit in your life. So these are very important. You should. That is why I say human beings are multidimensional. The more source has given all the tools in terms of great blessings, and there are so many energies around you. They're ready to help us. They're ready to. The moment you're born, thousands of energies are coming in your life and assisting you. Right. So you should ready with your pathological report, as well as you should be ready with your spiritual report. So what is your aura telling you? There are aura photographers. You should take your aura photographers, and you should be able to know where exactly the densities are happening in your body. Where exactly is the excess energy? If there are excess reddish energy in your brain, that means you need to calm down energy. Now then you need to one of the tools, which is a technique where you how can you bring your energy and the psychic level down. So all these things you can learn, and that is why my intention is soul level or the spiritual problem. So spiritual issues, the soul is the boss, soul is the consciousness, soul is the message, and we are traveling from one lifetime to the other, carrying all this message and information. So soul, there are blockages which can come from the soul, and the soul blockages are nothing called as your past karma. See, whatever you are today is because of the karma which you're doing. Karma is nothing but taking action. We'll talk more about karma. But karma, you're doing something bad, and those karmas get embedded in your soul. So sometimes you're aware of your body, sometimes you're aware of your mind, you're aware of your emotions, you're aware of your honor, but still the problem is persisting. And then you should know that this is the time you should check in your soul. There are many methods of checking your soul, starting from numerology, astrology, psychic reading, guidance, opening Akashic records. All these things you can do. The most thing is soul communication. I teach my students, maybe I will share some video on soul communication sometimes. Communicating with this soul. You can talk to your soul. There are languages. Your soul speaks languages. Okay, how you can take out the soul languages. Okay, if you are part of my source guidance program, that is called, this is a very rigorous program. That is like you get a capsule, like a power source capsule every day, and it charges. If you're following that step by step, you will get a lot of learning. But even if you're with some other modality, if you're studying Reiki highest degree, you come in contact with the soul. Then you have a soul healing technology. Then you're into pranic healing. So all this thing, if you're with the guru, if you're in mantra, so there are so mantra that actually finally is that the mantra goes from the body to the mind to the understanding of the soul. So you can do all this thing. So remember, if there is a problem persisting, and many of the relationship problems are also karmic problems. Okay? You're marrying someone, suddenly you meet a girl out of so many millions of women in the world, and she comes to your life. Because she comes because of the past balance sheets. Okay, you have to face it. All the people who are all around our friends, family are part of our karmic journey. So that is called as a spiritual block. It's very important to have an understanding of the spirituality. Some people are very much unclear of the spiritual. Understand the most important thing is what? Most important thing is not the body. Most important thing is not the mind. Most important thing is not the emotions or aura. Most important thing is your spiritual journey. See, you're born in a particular day and you're going to die in a particular day. You have come with an expiry date. Okay. So how the soul passes from this lifetime to the other, using the blessings of the body, mind, because body is like a temple. It's like a computer. If your computer, your chips, your motherboard should be perfectly okay. How, using the environment, how the soul is able to pass this spiritual journey and meet the emancipation, the moksha, using the power of Ketu. Ketu is the planet which is responsible. See, since I'm into astrology, I also start talking about astrological issues. So Ketu is the planet who gives you moksha. So God has even arranged things. God has even arranged gods, demigods, to help you even pass through the journey. So it's like, so that is why the death is in astrology is called as a punya tithi. So there's a tithi in which you're going to leave this body. So the most important journey is the spiritual journey. So are you clear about this thing? So this, if you start becoming clear, and if you know, okay, my soul is most important, and my soul one day will be meeting that higher soul. So, and the higher soul is always there with you. So what if all the actions are based so that your soul passes very smoothly in this world, and soul helps a lot of other souls, and finally he meets the grand soul, the source soul, or in the soul world, or the lokas which he is supposed to go. It's very important. So people are suffering only they do not know what is the journey, why they're supposed to live, whether they're supposed to live for the sensual gratification, or they should be very, very aware of the spiritual journey. And when you're aware, there are thousands of tools, God, Krishna, Allah, Buddha, any higher power can help you go there. Because the thing which is not there in you, why do you pray? Why do you pray? Why do you seek guru? Why do you seek a guidance? Why do you seek a teacher? because that thing is still not with you. It is there embedded inside you, but there is no method that you have to understand it. So there's a person with more experiences. There is a in the soul world, there is someone like Shiva, Ma Durga, Vishnu, who is much more higher in their spiritual journey. Everybody has a soul standing, who are in a higher teachers. So when you go and pray to them, they bless you, and they bless you. They help you. They give you signals to move in your spiritual journey. That's why it's very, very important to understand. So people sometimes face a lot of problems. They're doing their job. They're taking care of the family. They're going to parties, dancing. At the end, they're depressed, suiciding. Why? Because they have not able to connect themselves with this power of the soul. And the soul directly connects with the source. Okay, so that's the power. So that's why the Vedic knowledges, the spiritual knowledges, the religious knowledges in the right direction should be embedded from the very beginning. That is why in our culture, in the Indian culture, there was this four things: the brahmacharya, grasta, banaprastha, sannyasa. So there was this reason why they put it all this thing. Nowadays it's becoming very complicated. That's why the suffering is taking place. People do not know why they are born. That is why countries are fighting with one another. Instead of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, they are like they are just killing, releasing their missiles, NATO, and destroy other people. People are making business out of vaccines and all whatnot of things are happening. And so this is one should be very, very aware of the karmic things which is involved in all the things, creating a lot of viruses to kill people. What a wonderful karma they are doing. So with your actions, if somebody and so many people are dying, one action. So remember how many if the soul is traveling, soul is taking messages, and soul is very innocent. And soul sees things, and how many birth the person is supposed to take. So the most important journey is the spiritual journey, and that is why the responsibility of the spiritual teachers or master is so much high. Your relationship with the heaven, gods, and higher souls, and the source. That's also very, very important. How you're relating, whether you're able to understand the language of the gods and all, and that's very, very important in the spiritual journey. What is the relationship with Guru? Are you seeking a right Guru? Have you got a right Guru, or have you got a right guy? Are you seeking those things? So that is a part of the spiritual issues. Sometimes that comes. Sometimes you are not able to understand the things of the gurus, and you're doing on your own. That creates sometimes a problem in your life. Are you a good receiver? Thousands and millions of energies are falling on your place. All these things, small things, when you start taking place, you you start to feel that yes, you are being connected with the higher source. If you become a good receiver, you will be able to understand, receive the messages of the heavens. Everywhere the messages are going on. And the more important, karma. What actions are you taking every day? Very, very important. All whatever is happening in your world is because of the past actions which you've taken on your soul, heart, mind, and body level, on your thinking level. So there are good karma. Now, good karma is like it's selfless karma. When you do something for others, unconditionally serving others, doing good in every of your actions, you're taking something which will help somebody else. So in Shamshan Bhumi, in the crematorium, it is written, Har din ek acha kam karo. Every day do one good thing. And so that people benefit. So if your actions are, whenever you're doing something in your mind, you should always remember that what benefit people are getting from this. If you do good karma, you will get good virtues. Nothing. Swami Vivekananda says, whatever you do comes back to with compound interest. If you're doing good, good thing will come. If you're doing bad, bad thing will come in your life. So remember that. That's a law. You cannot deny that law. If you kill people, you will be getting killed. If you kill thousands of people, you may have to take 1,000 lifetimes again to pass through the karma. It is so dangerous. And this spiritual law is more powerful than the physical law. In here, there are so many loopholes in court, in police. You know very well. People are aware of everything, but spiritual laws are very strict laws. Okay, so I'm slowly and steadily coming to the laws that you should be aware in your actions. Sometimes you feel that you have to do something, but all this thing, remember, retrospect, introspect, your actions, is it benefiting somebody? Is it a selfless action, or is it a kind of a bad karma, or is it a kind of a selfish actions? Okay, you're cheating something, or you're lying because of you're harming the soul, heart, mind, and body of some other people. So karma is a different topic. Someday, maybe in one of the videos, I will share that how big these issues are, how many types of karmas are there. There are karmas like karmas of not doing something which you're supposed to do. You're supposed to do something, but you're just lazily sleeping around, you're watching and fooling around, and that creates a bigger issue. So you are completely in a wrong field. So then comes, that's the karma. Also, there are problems which comes from the environmental. Environment is a very big thing. Okay, you have to see things in a very big way. So, what is environment? Is the space which is around you, and environment is also the environment for the sake space. Where exactly are you living? So, what is the kind of environment all around you? So, physical environment, like whether there is a pollution all around it, whether there is greenery all around it. It's very important where you're living. Whether the vastu, what is an interaction with this environment? So you're entering a home, and is there is a kind of a right space, things are properly placed in those areas? Is there five element of nature balance, the proper air, proper ventilation is coming? Suppose proper air is coming, that means your Jupiter is very good. So people having good ventilation, fall less, good sunlight coming in that place, less dampen things. So that vastu is important. Also, your environment, people and society are also there in that environment. You have to be very, very careful. Your family members are there in your environment. If you're rising in your life, your family is about to rise with you. So each and every people interact with other, even if they're a little bit far apart from themselves, because their aura body interacts with one another, their astral body interacts with one another, their emotional body interacts with one another. So, what sort of friends you have? What is the sangha which you are having? Because if you are with the right friends, you are supposed to rise. But if you're wrong friends, they can deplete energy from you. Okay, and that is very important. What is your office environment? Okay, what is the institute? Where you're in a college or in a workplace? What sort of people are there? What sort of seniors are there? What sort of juniors are there? How you're behaving there with them? How they are interacting with them? That everything is affecting you. I talked about example of a person that he was having a very bad phase of his life. He was about to get divorced because there was some other person stealing in his company, and that was creating a lot of issues. So you should be very, very aware what sort of people you're interacting with, because if you're interacting with somebody who is negative, you are supposed to have negative, and you have to then use the power of the mind to get rid of all those people from your neighbors. What sort of neighbors are you? Simply, like, for example, there are neighbors who will see somebody other place, they will take their garbage and throw it in front of them, creating bad karma. But those things happens. Then there are neighbors who are helpful neighbors. There are neighbors who gives positive vibration, and it's very important. But you should be aware. Then government, what the government is doing for the people. So if you know you have a good government, then the the countries which are having good governance, they flourish. So what sort of leadership are there? These are things which you should be aware of. Now, why I'm saying aware? A lot of times government are not in a position to help you. So they take decisions which finally affect you in a positive and negative direction. You should build yourself. You should build your team, family, society, so that you these are also come under anticipation. But I'm just touching up this thing because that comes as a part of the environment. Your soul world ancestors are environment. A lot of energy is all around you. That is why we call this, we do Pitri Puja, Pitri things. We say that in the southern direction, you should light a lamp. So that is the Yama Loka. Because, when you're praying to God, Shiva is very far distance from you, because he's moving in the spiritual journey. But Shiva is connected, and finally, the closest gods which we have are our ancestors. In the ancestral, the soul world, the protectors. So you should be always awareness problem, that there are things around it. Your blood is actually from your ancestors, the mangal in your body, the system. So your DNA is from your ancestors. Okay, so that is environment. So that's why the Pitri pujas are recommended for people. Even you do not have a Pitri dosh, you should do Pitri puja, because Pitras are very powerful soul. They're in the soul world, and if you're praying to them, or you're giving something by remembering them, the world, heaven knows it. So it's a part of your environment, because they are all around you, and you should be aware of these things. Sometimes you are doing something, or Pitras wants you to do something, and you're not doing that, and you see that you have financial issues, you have relationship issues, because Pitra has some incomplete thing which they have not done, and they want you to do something. That's why they are very important. Pets, you bring a pet and your life improves. You bring a pet and your life becomes a real mess. So you should be very, very informed what sort of pets you're dealing with. Okay, see, for example, Alsatians, people bring a lot of Alsatians in their home, but they do not know they have a shredding issues, and that shredding energies can go in your system, in your body, and love is a different thing altogether. Then you find you have reactions in your body. A pet comes and suddenly I have a student in my Source-o-logist class. She said that I brought one pet in my home, and suddenly everything started turning so good in my life. Our financial condition, because the pet left the home, and suddenly things started falling down again. I explained to her the numerology that is responsible, because sometimes the pet is bringing a certain kind of power and energy with them, astrological combinations, numerological combinations, their own energy, their own happiness. So it's very important that you see that from where the disturbances are coming, or whether there's a disturbance or there's a happiness. So even the pets are very important in your life. Other energies are always there. People's energy, energy from product, objects, everything is vibrating in nature. So what thing are you seeing? Movies, newses. So these are creating psychic energies, and so a lot of energies. Universal. I talked about the universal life force. Very, very important force. You can use the soul, mind, body power of the universal life force and heal yourself. Because many a time, martial arts, even Lord Buddha has said that he goes and sit in meditation. What is happening when you're in meditation? You're not sleeping at the moment. You're just putting your mind down. And when you're putting your mind down, Vishwa universal life force starts moving in your body. But sometimes there's also negative energy. You're in a negative place, a place which is not that right kind of energy, or there is other souls which are not so good souls are there. They can come. So you should, when you are into spiritual subjects, when you're slowly and steadily, you're listening to this video for so long time, that means somewhere you wanted to find out a solution for your life. And that's why I'm talking about the subtle forms of energy also, which is all around you, and you should be aware of the sounds. What sort of sound? You're very close to an airport area, and there's so much sounds coming, noises coming, and that can actually affect the brain balancing. Because when you're too much sounds are coming in, it's in the physical body it affects. How? Because there's a balancing organ in your ear, so you feel imbalance. People having imbalance issues, so you should be very aware of not to be very close. What sort of radiations are there? There are earth faults, radiations. There are people who are energy healers. They know that there is a energy fault in your home, and those energy faults also stops your finances from coming in your home. Also, from good energies coming, you should find out, do kind of an earthing, or use higher energies to do that. Very, very important. You are very near to some kind of electrical transformer, or a kind of a 5G or a 4G tower, how to shield it. You can use a psychic light bulb, universal light bulb, your Reiki energy, or Tao hands to protect yourself from those things. You can, at least at this world where the technology is just engrossing every home has a wireless tutor. So blue radiations are coming from. We have to use all those things if you really wanted to survive and move ahead in our spiritual journey. Society. What sort of society are you? Is it a very friendly society, helping one another? So we should learn. The people, especially who are traveling in the foreign countries, who are very good Venus and Ketu in their chart, they should actually learn, teach, get lessons from the other societies, and come and share with. I'll share just one small example. That I was in Switzerland. I was in Zurich. What happened in there? I went in a global opportunity and threat analysis mission there over there. So what happened is that uh, I saw that suddenly there was a road in front of me, and all the vehicles suddenly stopped in the road. I said, "Why the vehicles are stopping? You know, what is happening?" There's an ambulance which is passing. So they are so much caring another human being. They're so much careful. So what is your actions? You know, we say we country is bad. How much we caring for one another? Another example, I will just quickly give another example, is that the train systems are very good in very timely train system. So what was happening? One lady was coming with his there was a with his baby and running to catch a train, and there was a passerby who was passing, and they have a switch outside in the European trains. So the gate was about to get closed, and suddenly a person who has nothing to do with train, who is on his own way, he just kept the button pushed in that things, and suddenly the woman entered and said thanks to the person, and the person was on his way, and the lady could get inside. Small thing. That's what the society is all about. Society, community means a place which helps one another to grow. Okay, so you should be very. What sort of society are you building? What sort of country are you building? And that is your environment, believe me. And you, every human being, should do their work so that they can create a kind of a better society. And finally, everything is thing. Anticipatory problem. This COVID was an anticipatory problem because you did not anticipate what's going to happen. Now, from now onwards, if you're a businessman, if you are into business, try to find out that if something like that happens again. So this is, you should learn from history. Now, why history is important? You should learn lessons from history. So these are the anticipated problems should not happen. How you should program your money and finances, how you should program your health, because after COVID, a lot of it is after COVID, it is must for the people to go in the source way, because source has so much secrets, and source wants you to live, so wants you to be alive. The higher power of the universe wants you to live and survive in the dimension. There's so many things that you can learn, okay, and so many things like lower dented practice, message center, Kundalini. You should charge your body, you should rebuild your body, so that you think so a lot of things we need to understand, a lot of things we need to meditate, retrospect, understand, so that this anticipate the futuristic problems cannot surface. And that is why the visionaries and leaders, the vision, the mind things we require. That's why we require children, for young people, youth, to have visions, visionary things, so that they can anticipate issues with society. Actuarial sciences, they should be able to know. Not only actuarial science should be able to predict how much money you're going to make now. Actuarial science should also be able to predict by certain methods that from where things can go wrong. And that is why you should be able to build your economy, your own economy, your social economy, your thing. At the end, life is important. You should be able to lead life in a holistic way. Then there are relationship issues. Relationships are issues. Your relationship is with yourself. Okay, sometimes you do not have your own. You're not having a direct communication with yourself. Relationship with the people, life partner. You have what are sort of things are with your life partner. Understanding issues. Then you have a love issues which can happen. Gratitude problem with the partner. How much your gratitude. Sexual issues can be one of the major issues for many divorces in the world. So you should be aware of, nothing to hide, but you should be aware of your issues, and you should be able to confront all those things in front of people. Cheating issues are there with the partners, even business partners. So a lot of time, a lot of problems are surfacing because the problem is somewhere else. See, when I'm talking about sexuality is nothing good or bad. It is a part of human body. It is a part of endeavor. It is where the things, the life forces are flourishing. It is an energy. That is why even our temples are like Khajuraho temples are, they're completely dedicated to this amazing power. It's an energy. It's a beautiful energy, and one should. That's why in India that part is also that area is also respected and worshipped. So these are the areas So the relationships has a lot of things. You should be aware of each and every part. And financial problem. This is the greatest. Financial is a multi-dimensional problem. I have to make a separate video altogether onto that. But finances have so many levels. There is a physical finance level. There's a mental financial level. There is an environmental financial level. There's a blueprint financial level. There is a spiritual finances. There is a source level financial. And you need to understand why there is a scarcity of finances, from where it is coming. See, how will you get money in your life? You get money only because of karmas because you have done in the past life, and karmas which you're doing in present life. How many problems that you're solving? If you're able to solve the right problems in this world, you are going to get virtues, and the virtues are getting converted into financial. So when we talk about karmas, I will talk more about finances when I talk, I'll make a video separate on the financial subject. But financials, you must be aware of just one thing. First, is your finances coming from your physical body? People having lethargy either get finances by luck or they do not get finances. So are you lethargic to the whole system? So are you lethargic? How much clarity is there in your mind? How much clear about your vision? What is your vocation? Are you able to discover your blueprint? If you have discovered your blueprint, see, God has given you a talent and a vocation, and the God, heaven, universe, source wants you to help people, mankind. See, everything in this world is serving others. Everything. You see the sun is burning itself so that it gives radiation, so that you can have the chlorophyll, the photosynthesis can take place, and you can get the fruits, and the fruits are eaten by other things, and that is why the life cycle goes on and on. So it is burning itself. So everything is serving one another. If there is a teacher, he is teaching something, he is serving others. If you have a vocation, may have any talent, you may have a good painter, you may have a good dancer, you may be a good astrologer, you may be like a healer. You may be anything. You may be a good entrepreneur. Your purpose is to use those vacation and serve others. Now, if you can able to solve somebody other's problem, um, you are money will come as a byproduct. Money or help from the universe will come as a byproduct. So you should be very very clear about this financial. That is a bigger area. I wanted to make a separate video, but remember, how much are you serving others? How much are you are you able to use your vocation? So are you lethargic? Are you inactive, or you are losing vision? If you do not know how to think, go to a person who is already successful in that area. So there are methods in which things can be done. So it's completely separate topic. I wanted to take it very forward. Career, job, and vocation I just talked about is like there is a blueprint inside. You must understand everything, everything. That's why I believe I have that program which is called Discovering Your Source Blueprint. So what career, what job, what vocation you are in, either why you're not successful, maybe you need to rethink on that part. Maybe you're not doing that thing which is supposed to do. Maybe it is not directly helping people. It's straightforward. If it is helping, serving people in one way or the other, universe and the heaven will provide a method to help you. But the most important thing is to, as fast as possible, try to understand from yourself what is your talent. What is your talent that you can express? Even if you suppose you love gardening, you can help to, in today's world. You can help people by teaching only gardening. There are people who are teaching hydroponics. Now, what is happening? You are making people self-reliant. You know dancing, so how can your dance movements help other people remain fit? You can think, if you're a doctor, what you can do. If you're an engineer, how much by your engineering skills, how much can you able to give it? If you're in a coder, how can you help humanity or to do the work? If you're not in the right direction, if you're doing something just for selfish purposes, then you may somewhere get kind of a blockages or stuck in your life. So it is very very important to understand this part of your life. Timing is a it is the greatest thing. It's a kala. You should be, the people are not able to do a lot of things, not able to take focus only because of the time. So time mastery is another key factor. Everybody has this 24 into 7. How much they utilize this time, what are the how to prioritize them, how to build their body energy so they do not waste time, space, and energy, and move ahead. And so this time management is very very important. A lot of problems in this world happens because of the improper time management, and one should learn this as fast as possible in their lifetime so that they can utilize their time, space, energy better. How you utilize resources. Now this is very important for the leaders, for the head of the families. They utilizing this a lot of times. You do not have savings in the bank account, and you using that money, and suddenly you find that money is not there. You're using how using this is especially for the company heads, the country heads, that you have people. So suppose I know a company which has, in a factory, a lot of people are working, and the company is in a scarcity mode. Why? Because the company heads are unable to utilize, they do not know the strength of each and every people in their thing. So the thing which can be done by one people, they're using two three people at the same time. So there are a lot of examples even from the media houses. In one media house, there's so many people. I'm not saying that they should throw out, but there has to be a balance. The people should know how to utilize their resources. Resources are from everywhere. How you use the water, how you use the electricity, how you use your, even how you balance and imbalance your body energy. The resource management is also a big factor which you should take into account. And then comes your addiction issues. There are a lot of addictions in the life. Even mobile is something you're getting addicted to. People are getting addicted. You should be very very clear. You should be able to, nothing should be tea, coffee, drugs, alcohol, sexual addictions. People are getting so many addicted. See, understand something very very carefully. So sometimes you start the addiction because you get a momentary joy, a false sense of happiness or satisfaction, and then it becomes a habit. You regularly start becoming a habit. You sit with the friend, again friends. You see the linkage which is coming. Good friend can take you higher, long friend reduce energy. Taking something drink, and if you measure your drinks and your alcohols, you'll see that your aura body suddenly shrinks when you take something which is like an alcohol or a booze. So regularly when you take, initially you get a kick or a fun, and then it becomes a habit. And when you do something for a long time, it becomes a character. It comes and becomes part of the of this of your life. How to change it? If you are unable to change it, take help from some higher power, higher sources, higher authority who are expert, professional, or slowly and steadily substitute with a good habit. Start substituting with a good habit. And when you keep on doing it, be aware of your subconscious, what you're feeding in your brain. So, and again, going back to the first one, do you really want to come out? So, have you create a goal, come out of that, substitute with, and slowly and steadily it will become habit and you will be able to come out. But first, you should know that whether you're getting addicted or not. Many people are just hooked up in the phone. They do not know that it has completely become a kind of an addiction. They cannot even. I see people traveling in the metro and all. When I go in the metro, I also see sometimes things, but I see most of the people are traveling with their phone or pastime. But there are, but if you can leave out the phone and that is the time you can be with yourself. You just suddenly ground yourself, suddenly focus on your lower dantian or your navipas. And if you can just connect with the source at that moment, or connect with the higher powers, think about higher powers, or do some kind of a mantra chanting, especially for the spiritual people. I think different vibration you can create for your life, and different subconscious powers can come. So that's very important area. Are you getting addicted to things? Anything you can get addicted. You can even get addicted to your anything. You can get addicted to a particular thing which you're doing daily, a job or something which you're not supposed to, but you're doing that thing because your mind has become adapted to the situation. That is very, very important. Freedom. Are you doing something out of freedom or happiness or joy, or you're studying doing something out of block? Now if you're doing something out of block, it finally eventually will get a lot of diseases and a lot of discomfort in your life. If you're doing something in the sense of freedom, in the sense of happiness, joy, or in the sense of fulfillment, then your life will be completely different. The belief system, the most important thing is your belief system. What are you believing? If we are talking about all those things from now, from the above and now, and but if you're not believing that you will be able to come out, belief system triggers your subconscious power. Belief system triggers your body. Belief system triggers your mind. Belief system completely changes your frequency and vibration. You believe that this is a disease which is going to like destroy you, or this is going to like do a lot of harm you. Things will start happening in your life. You say that this person is destroying me, and you just becoming submissive. Your life will become like that. But if you have a strong belief system, if you believe in yourself, and you believe in your mind, you believe in higher powers, God's universe and source and support, and you have a very strong belief system inside yourself, no matter what happens, how many falls you have, not even to rise up again. That belief system is very important. Check it out, everything. And listen, how strong is your belief system? That's why I say the source is the source of everything, and you should learn the source secrets, knowledge, guidance, so that you can align your soul, mind, heart, and body, environment, and your belief system with the source, so that you can transform your soul, heart, mind, and body, and your health, relationship, finances, and every aspect of your life. So that's your belief system. Yeah? And once you take a step, you open your emotions, you open your subconscious, you open your heart center, message center, flow with the God, and your things will start happening. One thing you should be also aware of nowadays, like people are becoming more spiritual, but they do not understand the dark world and the white world, because there are two kinds of world. Soul worlds are there. I'm just sharing this in a different way. Maybe again, I will make a separate video on this thing. Very important. People are doing psychic attacks, creating psychic attacks on people, doing black magic. They do not know the harmful effect what they're doing, and because there are competitors, there are businesses who want to do black magic on one another. They will hire another person who is doing kind of a samadhi, sending some, using some kind of a dark souls and putting something like that. Yeah, sometimes you're doing a lot of things and you're just getting trapped in this. There are methods to even come out of the dark things. But always remember one thing, that whenever there is something, there is obviously a kind of a solution which is next to it. But you should be aware whether, especially who are into spiritual things and who are doing moving ahead in their life, or doing something in the psychological. Never use these kind of techniques on other people, because you are creating bad karma in your life. Do not harm others, or do not use some other souls to harm other persons or other things in the life, because the repercussions can be devastating. Also be aware of these kind of areas. So once you become aware, awareness, I am telling you, is the first step. If you know that there is a possibility of something like that, first step is that then you you build your subconscious power, and I'm sure source and the heaven universe will guide you to the right thing to come out of that, into the thing. And remember to activate your source blueprint inside. When you're working for the source blueprint, no matter what happens, somehow or another, heaven will support you, source will support you, because source is the source of everything. Source is the source of love, forgiveness, compassion, light, healing. And when source sees you are one of the thing who is helping others, helping other mankind, it will help you, it will support you to uplift your soul, heart, mind, and body, and so frequency, so that you can serve even more and more and more. So that is the purpose of life. That is the whole purpose of identifying. So it is just not, now you understood. I think you have a very fair of the broad perspective that your one problem may not be that problem. Your problem can only can come from so many different dimensions, and the purpose is to balance everything. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and especially I request all the healers, coaches, consultants, that whenever you're doing something, you're actually having a responsibility. So you have become an astrologer, you become a numerologist, you become a healer because God wants you to become that. Okay. And now you should be aware of yourself, you should protect yourself, and how when some person comes in your life, you should be able to see it, but exactly the problem is coming from. So I hope you have enjoyed this video, like this video. If you really liked it, please give your comments, feedback, suggestion, and please share this video as much as possible, because maybe that by just your small work, somebody else will get benefited. Okay, there are other links, valuable links, which I've given below. If you feel like, you can always contact it for anything. I and my team would definitely like to help you as much as possible, whatever we know, or I will guide you to the right person who is much more better to help you in that place. Thank you so much, and God bless you. May God source your soul, environment, your ancestors, and source bless you beyond, beyond, beyond. Thank you, and stay tuned and please subscribe to the channel so that whenever I give a video, you can see and probably get benefit out of it. Thank you so much. I love you.